Okay, so today I decided to do a small, quick sketch painting. Nothing great, but just to kind of show the method that I use if I'm using a grid method. And I've chosen just a photo of a cardinal, and it's pretty colorful, and I just wanted to run through it. And anyway, here we go. Okay, so I've got my canvas, as you can see. I did a sort of an acrylic light gray wash in the background. I don't like to usually paint straight onto white canvas, especially if I'm going to be using whites in the painting. So I've got that simple photo in the background. It's taped just to kind of show my method. It's a very simple setup, and I'm using a size 1 sable brush, and I'm using a paper palette, and you'll see that paper palette pop up there every so often. I'm using 5 colors. I'm using a titanium white, a cadmium pale yellow, a cadmium red deep, a ultramarine blue, and a burnt umber. And usually I use liquid to thin and to create some softer strokes, but I didn't use a lot of liquid in this painting. Here we go. I'm putting some background in, and I usually do that just to kind of see where my colors are sitting on the painting. Again, this is just a quick sketch, so I'm not really too focused on detail. I'm just focused on shape, texture, color, and just making sure that everything is in its proper place. And the great part is I can keep going back over these areas and correct when I see mistakes. So when I'm painting, I really don't focus on the drawing. When I use the grid method, I'm just trying to paint kind of individual paintings within each square. And they kind of all comes together. But as you can see, I enjoy quite a bit just the process of not focusing on details. Like, I know that bird has a beak and an eye, and I know there's a wing that's prominent, and that the bird has feet on a basically a branch. But I'm not focused on any of that. I'm just focused on the shape and the color within that. So this is basically just kind of a quick case study on doing that. If I really want to refine it, once I'm done with a painting like this, I will go back and I will keep going over the top of it until I've got it super detailed. But when I'm just trying to get the masses in, I'm more focused on just what's in each square. I'm also focused on lost and found edges. So as you can see over on the left side with the wing, my edge is a little darker, a little harder against the background. On the right side, where you see the shape of the bird in the belly area, that's a softer edge. And really having those lost and found edges can really also help the object that you're painting really pop out. Also too, as you can see in the chest area, the breast area of the cardinal, the warmer and lighter I get, the more it comes forward. Those greens are pretty cool colors, and they'll recede more, and with those warms, the reds and everything else will definitely come forward. So again, I just keep refining over and over again, going sometimes back up top if I see something, and basically what I'm doing too is I'm measuring with my eye what's in the square. And so sometimes I'm a little off and I can go back and correct, and other times I'm just right where I need to be. So I'll leave an area a little bit, go back up into it, see how it measures against the other objects. But even like with these feet that I'm doing here on this Cardinal, I only see the shapes. I don't see the many talons. I'm just looking at those colors and trying to match what the colors that I see. And even with this branch, the branch is full of color, and sometimes I have to cool it down a bit and warm it up to get the full effect. Going back up into the body of the bird, like as you can see there, kind of measuring it against the stick, looking at the negative space. Some of those warms that I see. Now I'm going back over the top, and again, I'm just not focused on the actual subject of the Cardinal. I'm just focused on what I see in these shapes and color. The other thing I'm doing a little bit is I'm squinting my eyes, but I'm also kind of blurring them. If I blur my eyes a little bit, I can see the shapes and the colors a little better. And that's really helpful in just making sure that the masses of color are where they need to be. And then I keep going back in the background, seeing how the color from the main object is against the background color, and you can see there's just lots of warms and cools in that background so far, and so I'm just playing around with that. And as I get towards the end, sometimes I speed up a little bit because I want to be done, and so that's kind of a dangerous place to be because that's when mistakes are made. But now I'm going to get the background, and I'm just going to mass in the rest of it. And I don't like the background in the picture, so I'm just going to make it all solid. And again, this is more of a quick sketch, just trying to get it done. I can go back over it later to get in the full detail. When I take the photo off, place it against the finished painting. As you can see, I got this study done, just the quick sketch, just how I needed it. I can refine it later and get it highly detailed. That's it. So basically that's my process, one of the processes I use, and especially for a quick sketch. And it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you.